Okay, no worries. Let's get started. Hello guys, my name is Abhishek Anand and you're watching my YouTube channel. Today guys, this video is for you if you are looking to pursue software engineering and to know about software engineering career in Canada. I have invited a very special guest and a very special friend of mine, Zinnia Rana. So Zinnia, hi Zinnia.
Thank you, Abhishek, for inviting me over your channel. I love what you're doing, and you're trying to help out the students so they can get to know more about the industry, about the experience over here. So I'm all here for it to support you, and I'll try my best to give the information.
Thank you so much, Zinnia. And today the weather is really good. The lighting is perfect, and I think it's a perfect day to make this video, right?
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
All right. So okay, let's begin with a short background. How did this thing come in your mind? Okay, I know so many people they like to do software engineering, but why for you chose to do software engineering? What made you think I only want to do this?
So funny thing, I came to Canada. Actually, I admitted in computer science engineering at Concordia University. But after first two semesters, what I realized is computer science is more focused on the coding development phase. But whereas in software engineering curriculum, we were more focused from the very scratch, from the design phase to the estimation to the planning, quality assurance, including coding as well. And I was more intrigued and interested in that perspective that I wanted to know more about the software development process rather than just focusing on the coding phase. So that's what interested me, and that's why I switched myself from the computer science at Concordia towards the software engineering, and hence that I choose software engineering.
Perfect. Okay, so and there is a myth between people if I do computer science, is there less opportunities if I do computer engineering, or if there is more opportunities when I do software engineering? So what do you think about that? Is computer science and software engineering going to stop you from pursuing career in front end development or software related career?
From my perspective and what I've seen around in the industry, no, absolutely not. Even if you pursue software engineering or you pursue computer science, it is not going to limit the opportunity or the role that you are going to target upon. So for example, even if you do computer science, you can still apply for front end as a front end or full stack developer. But even if you're a software engineer, you can also still apply as a developer, as a software engineer in any other company. So it doesn't differ on which role you are targeting, even if you're a computer science graduate or a software engineering graduate. The jobs are equal and there is a demand. As I said, that the difference lies in what you study in your curriculum. So if you are someone who is more interested in the whole process of the software engineering, you should go for the software engineering. But if you're only particularly interested in the computer science, so distributed system, competitive programming, everything very specific towards that, then you can pursue the computer science, but that doesn't limit you from the job.
Exactly, and I think I absolutely agree with you on this. Choosing software engineering or computer science is not going to limit you from pursuing your career, but it definitely helps you when you're in school, if you have already things in mind that I definitely want to do software at the end of the day, so then go for it. But again, if you just want to be more open to opportunities and try different things, maybe computer engineering can be a better option because you will also learn more electrical stuff and the software stuff at the same time. Okay, great. Where did you start with your software engineering journey? Was it back home in India or you started over here in Canada? How was it?
Actually, I did my bachelor's in computer science back in India, and then when I graduated, I did my 1 year of internship. It was a co-op, hiring placement within the campus itself. And during that time, I was doing some freelancing project in front end, and that's how my interest got into it, because I was never fully focused in the coding phase, but rather the whole process of gathering the requirement from the client, talking with the client, doing everything from the very scratch. The whole process interests me more, and that's how I figured that I want to pursue my master's. I want to dig deeper, and that's why I chose computer science. But then later I realized the actual difference where it lies, and I wanted to dig deeper in towards a software engineering perspective. So my journey in short began from India, but I expanded my horizon as I experienced towards my master's degree.
So you said you started in India, so there are a lot of people and students who will be watching this video from India as well. When I was in India, I used to think if IIT ho gaya, so it's the best thing I can get in my life. And that if I want to do computer engineering, software engineering, mechanical engineering, or any kind of engineering, I have to go to IIT. What do you think? Like, did you also like start doing that JEE preparations and all? Like, how was it?
Honestly, I've been always a very good student till 10th grade, but then plus one, plus two non-medical, it was just too hectic, and I was never targeting IT. I know how weird it sounds, because when you enter engineering, the whole motto in one's life is clearing your GE and getting into an IT institution. But for me, it was never that intense, and I just wanted to keep it at a chill level. Like, I didn't want it to go too much deeper or have a very competitive spirit about that. From so far my experience goes, at the time when you are in your phase when you choose non-medical and you have passed your board exams, I know the pressure is legit, that you want to go into IT, and IT is the only good institute, and if you don't go into IT, you won't be a good engineer. But that's not true. I know the competition is high, and yes, it comes with the dedication and consistency. Those who go for it, yes, there are some good opportunities for them. Even if you don't get into IT, that doesn't stop you from being a good engineer or open doors towards engineering. I myself, I never cracked IT, I never got a good J score, but I pursued my bachelor's in computer science, and here I am. I'm a front-end developer. There might be someone else who did from IT as well and got into this field. All I'm trying to say is, don't get pressurized just because there is one exam and only one institution can rename the journey you want to go for. There's no such hard and fast rule. Even if you are a college graduate or a university graduate, all that matters in the end is how much you are passionate about technology, how much you're passionate about learning. Even if you are a graduate from a college or you are a graduate from a university, that doesn't stop you applying for a role or become a developer. It all depends upon your passion about learning and how much you're open to it.
Alright, Zina, I have one more question for you. That a lot of people, they want to do internships these days, and I know that you also did one internship when you were in India. You just mentioned that. So what do you think, how important role do internships play when they want to get hired for a full-time job? So how does internships prep you for getting into a full-time?
I think internships are nowadays getting so much into consideration, which is very good. It is a very underrated thing at the time I graduated, but I feel that internships are very much important into shaping your career. It's like a hit and trial that you can get to work with the real-time industry and the real-time team, and you can experience which role is suitable for you or not. So even if it's a span of 4 years of degree, you can do multiple internships during the summertime, and that will help you define what you're more interested in and in which field you really want to go. In my experience, I had a campus placement. I did 1 year of internship in India, and that actually helped me to rather not, I would say, what I really want to do, but exactly what I don't want to do. I did my 1 year of internship as an IT analyst. I was at the very beginning very much interested into networking, but as I did handle the day-to-day job responsibility and being in a men-centric team, what I realized is this is not where I want to be. That opened my doors towards what I'm more interested in. Then I figured out, okay, maybe the desk job or the coding phase development job, that is not for me. I want something which is more innovative. This way, internships does help you to actually identify what you're more interested in, and on a higher perspective, what you're not interested in at all. So don't underestimate it. Try to do more internships. Try to be open towards it. Doing internship can literally have you have more skills in hand, and the kind of software industry experience that you get while doing an internship is incomparable that you can ever get.
And where do you think one start applying for internships? Should they only apply for small companies or big companies? What do you think about that?
According to me, it doesn't matter whether you apply for a small startup company or a big MNC. Even if you apply for a small startup company, it can give you a lot of exposure. The reason being because you get more responsibilities in hand and you become such a fast-paced learner. In my experience, I did only one internship in India, and when I came here in Canada, I had this vision in mind that I want to get a part-time job, or I don't want to do any sort of odd jobs, but rather find a job in my own field. And when I came to Canada, I just put on myself on LinkedIn that I'm a freelance developer. I'm looking for projects. So if you want to get your business into the web world, so hit me up. And that's how I got my first freelance project in Canada. With that kind of experience, I got into during the summertime, we are allowed to do full-time. So I didn't get an official internship, but rather a full-time co-op, I would say. But I didn't get any credits for that. But since as a master's student here and during summer we are allowed to do full-time, I did that full-time co-op, but that also helped me to learn more skills as a front-end developer in a small startup company. From my experience, do apply for startup companies. It will give you a more hands-on experience on your skill set, and you will become a very fast-pacing learner. I myself have done like a few part-time jobs in small startup companies. I can vouch for this that currently working at a bigger MNC compared to a small startup company, the amount of skills that you learn in a short span of time and the kind of responsibility taker you become, there's a huge difference. You'll be doing a lot of more tasks, and they will not just assign you, oh, do this and this, but you can also like take your hands more on the other task itself.
Definitely, I feel like when you are in a startup, they are moving very fast. Like the startups, they are very focused. They have a budget, and they are only hiring you because they really want like to use your skills and your help in building their startup.
Yes.
Because of their limited budget, they have to hire someone who is like very quick learner and able to implement his own perspective towards what they're working as well.
Also, like working at a startup, they are not only looking someone who is a good developer, but someone who is well versed with a software engineering perspective. So this is from my own personal experience. Doing software engineering helped me so much while applying for small startup companies. The reason being they want someone who is well versed in that area, that you already know about the quality assurance, you already know about the project management, that how these all things estimation comes into place, rather than someone who is just focused on the development phase.
Or Zinnia, I have another question for you. So let me just throw it away. You know that LinkedIn is a really powerful tool where you can get jobs, make more connections, and expand your network, right? I have seen so many people getting jobs through LinkedIn, and even myself, like I had huge benefit when I was using LinkedIn when I was in school, and I just learned it with the time. But what do you think? Like you coming from India, coming to Canada, through your whole journey, like getting different internships and full-time jobs, what do you think? Like does LinkedIn like really help?
I think from my opinion, LinkedIn is the backbone of the software industry right now. The reason being it's the most versatile platform to get jobs from. I would be lying if I say that I don't use LinkedIn or I didn't get jobs from LinkedIn.
We'll put her LinkedIn in the description below, so do check it out and add her to your connection.
For sure. I just want to say that LinkedIn does help you get the jobs, especially here in Canada. In India, there is a concept of campus placements, but here it's more like either referral or you apply it through a job board itself. And LinkedIn, every single company, most of the companies, they post their job requirements and the new job profiles over LinkedIn, and that definitely helps you to get into it. And if you have a referral, of course you have an upper edge, but even if you don't have a referral reference in an industry, LinkedIn is to your rescue. It is not just a platform where you can just post, but also it somehow helps you to get a more connectivity, you know. I started building up my LinkedIn profile by adding more skills, adding more posts, connecting and searching the people who are in my industry, working at the companies whom I want to target. So for example, being a front-end developer, I want to go at Google, I want to go in Autodesk. So I was trying to send a personalized message to the people who are working in those companies in my field, and that helped me to expand my network. So whenever I was at a position that I'm looking for a job, and whenever I posted something about it, so there were so many people already in my network already who helped me or who were commenting for the better reach. So don't just see LinkedIn as a tool for applying for jobs, but rather as a system where you can network with the people. So LinkedIn is definitely 100% mandatory tool for you that you should leverage upon. It will help you not only connect with the industry professional, but also hiring managers. If you're in a phase that you're about to graduate, so make sure that you expand your network using the LinkedIn.
Alright, Ines, so you did a lot of hard work. You did your university in India, you did your university in Canada, then you also did internship and you did other part-time jobs. And now when it was time to get your finally full-time job, which is goal for everyone, how was your first full-time job in Canada, and how was your experience when you started applying? Like now, like you have to, like the time when it came, like okay, now up to like I have to have a full-time job. So how did you get that?
I started preparing myself up when I was about to graduate 4 months before before that. So I started like creating, as we talked about the LinkedIn, I leveraged my network connections over LinkedIn. I started to reach out to people who are already working in that industry. When the time I graduate, I already have some insights from the industry. To reach out to the people and ask about how is their experience in the industry, what technologies are they working for. Try to search up for the job role that you want to apply for, and just take a look at the job duties or the skills they are demanding in the industry. That will actually help you prepare more about what skills you need to focus on. So for example, at the time I graduated, actually it was a COVID high peak time, so I graduated at the very worst time that you can ever be, and that's how LinkedIn also came into play. Companies were hiring freeze, the companies were not hiring enough, but luckily there I applied through via many hiring managers, like reaching out them on the LinkedIn, making sure I'm sharing my GitHub project. So sharing whatever progress that you're doing on your personal time, sharing that really helps. Whenever they used to come on my LinkedIn profile and they see, oh, she is posting something more, something more than the offering more than the other candidates, that will give you a leveraging edge over the others. I was trying to show that okay, I'm still working as a part-time somewhere, but I'm also like creating some more innovative projects on the side. Having more GitHub projects, that definitely helps you. And right now also there is a hiring freeze going on, the job market is down, but don't lose hope. Okay? I know it can be hard, it can take few months, but prepare yourself. And when I say prepare yourself, make sure your LinkedIn is updated, make sure you are doing some own personal project and not just course curriculum, because even if you're doing your masters from any good university, what you're doing extra will always leverage you. Getting full-time job can be intimidated, but if you plan towards that before you're going to graduate, it will definitely help you.
Okay, so Zinnia, so you already mentioned a lot of your skills, like about networking and all, but like let's come to your skills, right? You have been in the industry for quite a long time now. So what do you think, like what are some of the key languages that if someone who wants to get into software engineering, or since you are like more front end, so can you like recommend some languages, like someone who wants to like start learning coding today or get into programming, how can they develop their skills?
I would say that start with any programming language, because the kind of software engineering principle you learn in any language be used in any other framework. But talking about the front end, there are three major frameworks in the industry. If you know about it, one is Angular, Vue.js, and React. These are the three most popular front end frameworks. So any of them, if you learn any of them, that is good for you. The only thing is, until unless you're targeting for a very senior role, then they are working on a software which is using React. They want someone in React. But according to my experience so far, if you're fresh graduated or even if you have medium, like 2 to 3 years of experience, they are not particular about which framework you know. Other than front-end frameworks, JavaScript is a basic for going into the front-end. You need to know about ES5 plus JavaScript, and also like CSS technology, so Bootstrap, Sass, and if you are more going in towards startup companies, then e-commerce websites, so e-commerce platforms such as WordPress, Drupal, Shopify, Magento. And talking about software engineering perspective, learn any particular programming language and it will help you learn others, because as I said, that syntax might differ sometimes, but the logical building, how you organize your code, the kind of software engineering principle always remain the same. So you can either choose C++ or you can choose Java or Python. So choose any, but stick to one. Try to build your logic upon that. Try to be well versed how you can solve any particular problem in that programming language. As I said, that there are technologies, there are companies hiring for everything, but if you're targeting for front end, do make sure that you know at least one of the frameworks that I mentioned, and you're good with the CSS, you're good with the JavaScript, you know more about the web, how it works, what is its core, more about the DOM structure and everything. That will give you a good edge.
Great, thanks Zinnia. So guys, like as Zinnia mentioned, that these are some of the skills that you can develop, but there is like no particular skill that you have to like always stick with one language. You have to become well versed in one language at first, so that will help you build your technical skills. Alright Zinnia, so it was like really nice talking to you, and you gave a lot of good information for the students who are watching today, and I'm sure like people are going to get help with this. To end this video, would you like to give one like pro tip for students like who want to pursue their career and become a software engineer, or they want to like take you as a role model, as an inspiration, and maybe they want to come in Canada or they want to become a software engineer in any country all over the world? So like one piece of advice.
I would say don't lose your heart even if you're facing very much trouble with finding a full-time job. I know it can get very scary when you're a recent graduate and the job market is not good. Keep applying and try to experiment with your resume. Try to analyze where things are getting wrong. If you're not getting calls, try to to identify whether it's your resume, whether it's your skill set, whether it's your experience, where is the difference lies. That will help you up your game. But because when you start analyzing where it's going wrong, you already know what's not working for you and what you need to work for. But if you will just blindly start applying for the jobs with only one template of resume, it won't work for you. So for every job description, for every job you're applying for, customize your resume. Try to make your work around that how you can edit it according to the job, highlighting keywords according to the skills they are demanding for. And also don't skip cover letters. It is very important. Some people just don't take too much effort to write one, but that can really make a huge difference for an hiring manager, because how they might see it that you took some extra time that other candidate didn't to apply for it. Don't do it half-heartedly, give it your all, and I'm sure that you'll be able to find your job.
That's great, Zinnia. It was really pleasure talking to you, and I really thank you that you came up and you are here to help me make this video and make it reach out to students who want to become a software engineer and front-end developer like you. You all just keep one thing in mind, that don't lose hope, just like what Zinnia said, and be open to opportunities. That is the most important thing. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching this video and this conversation between me and Zinnia, and I hope this will really help you and inspire you in your journey. So, and I hope that you can now show some support, show some love to this channel by hitting some likes and sharing it with your friends, and also comment down below if you have some questions, so me and Zinnia will try to answer those questions as well. Also, you can reach out to us on LinkedIn and send me a connection. I will be happy to accept you all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.